I'm Sandra Gason, anak laki Balakrishnan. I'm a teacher from Sekolah Menengah K. Johari, Sungai Petani, Kedah. And today I would like to introduce to you the topic of my research, using MobNILAM program to promote reading habits amongst pupils in semi-urban schools. Before I go deeper into my research question, a brief introduction about myself. I've been an English teacher for over 33 years, and I have vast experience teaching English to rural and semi-urban students in Kelantan and Kedah. And currently, I'm teaching English in SMK K Johari, Sungai Petani, Kedah. I did research for my Masters in Applied Linguistics mini thesis back in 2014 in University of Utara, Malaysia, as part of my requirement to graduate. Okay, the topic of my research was factors affecting reading habits among students at a secondary school in Kedah, and I found that students in secondary schools in Kedah had very poor reading habits. As a result, okay, I'm coming up with this program using MobNILAM to promote reading habits amongst pupils in semi-urban schools to solve this issue. Okay, what are the factors that contribute to poor reading habits? I'm outlining four major factors. Okay, first is our education system, which is too exam oriented. Emphasis is given only on memorization, rote learning, and answering exam questions. It doesn't really promote leisure reading. Next, parents play a very important role in pupils' reading habits. I found that there's a lack of encouragement from parent side. This may be due to factors such as demands of the semi-urban life, socio-economic problems, COVID-19, among others. Besides parents, the school environment also determines the reading habits of pupils. Limitations such as location to the library, short recess time, and also non-awareness by school results in this problem. Last but not least, all these factors results in pupils having very low intrinsic motivation to read up. Okay, what happens when pupils have very poor reading habits? Number one, the acquisition of knowledge is very low, and as a result, they become a non-informed person. Number two, pupils record slow growth in their academic achievement, some to the extent very poor results in their studies. Number three, pupils may engage in antisocial problems such as truancy, drug addiction, gangsterism, and bullying, among others, when they don't read much. In a nutshell, I would like to address here that poor reading habits may result in very worrying traits among students. Okay, on the contrary, let's look at the next slide on what happens when pupils read a lot. Here, I would like to discuss the strengths of good reading habits among pupils. Without any doubt, it enriches people's English proficiency in terms of vocabulary, sentence structure, and communicative skills, among others. Pupils become very informative and knowledgeable, and this directly results in them attaining a good academic achievement. Next, it strengthens peer relationship and camaraderie, which is very vital for a smooth education journey in the school for the pupils. Pupils are at a very vulnerable age. Therefore, regular reading habits make readers want to emulate the protagonist. So a lot of good moral values are instilled in these pupils. Last, all the factors I've outlined here will definitely build people's self-confidence. Okay, what is MobNILAM? Okay, MobNILAM is also known as Mobile NILAM. It is a reading program aimed to complement the NILAM program, which is ongoing in schools now. Okay, during MobNILAM program, students need not go to the library to read due to the limitations that I've discussed earlier. So what happens is they read books from MobNILAM baskets, which are placed in classrooms, canteens, pathways, and corridors. Okay, these reading activities can be carried out during scheduled lesson or relief periods, free periods, and also anytime students are free. For example, after exam and so on and so forth. Okay, next we will be discussing the implementation of MobNILAM. In my following slides, I'll be showing you the implementation of the MobNILAM program, which I carried out with pupils of SMK K Johari, Sungai Petani, Kedah. The program begins with reading activities, post-reading activities, and ends with a reflection. The first activity under the MobNILAM program. Okay, pupils will be reading storybooks in their classrooms. As you all can see, they are really engaged and very deeply concentrated in reading their storybooks. Okay, in these slides, you are all watching pupils reading at some pathways in the school. Okay, these are done during recess period and after having their meals, and they still have time before entering class, and they are reading leisurely at the books. Here are some pictures of pupils deeply engaged in reading at outdoor benches in the school. After the implementation of the reading activities, we move on to the post-reading activities. Okay, let me define what is post-reading activities. Okay, post-reading activities are activities done after the students have finished reading. This is usually done by encouraging the learner to critically analyze the text. Post-reading activities are usually done in order to help the students understand what they have read more deeply. Post-reading activity that I conducted with the students are the individual book review, where after reading the book, they have to present a little bit about the book they have read, which includes the title, the publisher, the author, the price of the book, and a short synopsis of the book. Book review. Okay, we move on to group book review activity. Okay, here it will move on to a little bit challenging activities because students will be divided into groups and they will review a book that they have read. Okay, here a lot of elements incorporated such as cooperation, uh, teamwork, decision making, and also exchange of ideas among the students. And I also believe that a lot of racial integration and tolerance can be instilled in this program. Ladies and gentlemen, after carrying out the individual and a group book review, okay, I'm proposing a public book review where certain students who have picked up self-confidence are encouraged to come and present their book at a speaker's corner in the canteen. Okay, by doing this activity, I feel that other students who are watching this presentation will be also encouraged to read books. As I've stressed earlier, a good reading habit will further enhance students' critical and creative writing. Okay, here after going through the pre-reading and some post-reading activities, I encourage some of my students to author their own books. Okay, here are the result of one group from my students who authored their own book, and from the front page cover to the content and up to the synopsis was fully done by my students. The last activity under the post-reading activity is mock activity. Okay, this activity I have devised for people to think creatively and critically. Okay, it will be in posters, A4 papers, and worksheets. And the results of the mock activity is as what you can see in the slide. And I'll be using it also in the PDPR in my class. Okay, the final process of this MobNILAM program is reflection writing. Okay, this is a very important process where we will try to gauge the students' understanding of this program. Okay, it starts with what they have learned, okay, what they feel, and what they further require from this program. So I feel this is a very effective program which also enhances their writing skills. Ladies and gentlemen, in general, I find that pupils in semi-urban schools possess an alarmingly average or poor reading habit. Besides parental awareness, school plays an important role in promoting pupils' reading habits. After implementing the Mock Nilam program systematically in my school, I found that many of my students are more interested to read English storybooks, build up the self-confidence in communication, overcome their fear to speak in English, able to think critically and creatively, and most importantly, inculcate the values such as camaraderie, tolerance, and integration, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, a reading nation is an informed nation. Reading affects people's performance in school and they may engage in antisocial behaviors. I strongly believe Mock Nilam program, if implemented in semi-urban schools, will expand the knowledge of pupils, give them room to explore the wealth of human experience, and build them as good human capital for the progress of our country. Here, I would like to stress that this Mock Nilam program can also be implemented in other languages such as Bahasa Malaysia, Tamil language, Mandarin language, and Arabic language. Lastly, I would like to record my heartiest gratitude to Manet ICAR 2020, my school principal, teachers, and my pupils for giving me this great opportunity to present my practice-based research using Mock Nilam program to promote reading habits among pupils in semi-urban schools. Thank you very much.